Imagine a place with an economy robust enough to rival developed powerhouses like Canada and Italy. A place that, in little more than a decade, has established itself as a true economic force within the United States. Texas, renowned for its rich culture and vast landscapes, is quickly emerging as the financial engine behind the world's largest economy. Between 2010 and 2021, Texas' economy experienced a remarkable 39% growth, far surpassing its already significant population increase of 18%. This economic leap places Texas as the leading financial driver within the United States. To illustrate the scale of this growth, Texas is now the nation's top exporter, responsible for roughly 25% of all U.S. exports, including products like oil, natural gas, technology, and machinery. If Texas were an independent country, it would rank as the world's 8th largest economy, outpacing well-established economies like Italy and Canada, which have long held a strong presence on the global economic stage. This fact not only highlights the state's economic dynamism but also underscores the strength of key sectors fueling its rapid expansion. What's behind this economic boom? One of the primary factors is its highly favorable fiscal policy, which includes no state income tax, a less burdensome regulatory structure, and a business-friendly environment that fosters innovation. This combination has made Texas extremely attractive to large corporations and startups looking to expand or avoid higher taxes in other states. In recent years, Texas has emerged as the new El Dorado for tech and innovation companies. In 2020, for instance, Oracle, one of the world's largest software companies, announced its headquarters move to Austin. Shortly afterward, Tesla, under Elon Musk's leadership, shifted its headquarters from Palo Alto, California, to the Austin area, attracted by lower operational costs and a growing tech ecosystem. And it's not just Tesla. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, another tech giant, also chose to move its headquarters to Texas, marking a significant shift in the U.S. economic power structure. This exodus from California is more than symbolic, it reflects a shift in American corporate preferences. Drawn by a lower cost of living, robust tax incentives, and a highly skilled workforce, these companies have helped transform cities like Austin, Dallas, and Houston into new technological and industrial hubs. The impact of these changes is felt not only in employment rates but also in infrastructure and lifestyle, with rapid growth in both commercial and residential developments, as well as expanded urban services. Texas, traditionally known for its oil and gas production, is now positioning itself as a rising frontier for tech innovation, advanced manufacturing, and global export logistics. What explains this phenomenon? What are the next frontiers of economic expansion in the state, and what role will Texas play in the global competition for economic and innovation leadership? Texas offers one of the most attractive business environments in the United States. Unlike states like California and New York, known for stringent regulations and high operating costs, Texas stands out with a more flexible regulatory framework, less bureaucracy, and a structure that encourages entrepreneurship. One major differentiator is the absence of individual income tax, a powerful lure for both businesses and workers. In states with high income taxes, like California and New York, entrepreneurs and well-paid professionals face significant tax burdens on their earnings, which can substantially erode business profits and employee salaries. In Texas, this is a different story. The lack of income tax makes the state more financially appealing, both for retaining talent and for creating new businesses. This favorable fiscal environment is complemented by a significantly lower cost of living compared to other U.S. economic hubs. Texas cities like Austin, Dallas, and Houston offer a unique blend of quality of life and reduced costs. In Austin, for instance, housing costs, though rising, remain considerably lower than in San Francisco or New York. This factor alone represents significant savings for companies looking to reduce operating expenses and for workers wanting to increase their purchasing power. Moreover, Texas has a highly competitive business culture, top-tier infrastructure, easy access to global markets, and a diverse, well-trained workforce. This flexible and business-friendly environment is positioning Texas as a new growth center not only in traditional sectors like oil and gas but also in emerging industries like technology, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing. This combination of factors has created a dynamic environment where not only large corporations but also small and medium-sized enterprises see Texas as an opportunity for exponential growth. Texas tax appeal goes beyond the absence of personal income tax. The state also stands out for lacking a significant corporate income tax, making it a powerful contender in attracting large companies and investors. This means that corporations operating in Texas face a much lighter tax burden, which translates to higher profit margins and more capital available for reinvestment and expansion. In addition to this exemption, Texas offers a range of additional tax incentives aimed at attracting strategic investments. Among the most prominent are property tax exemptions for companies investing in specific areas such as technology, advanced manufacturing, and clean energy. These incentives not only enhance the state's competitiveness compared to other economic hubs but also encourage the development of high-tech sectors and infrastructure. Another tax appeal is the incentive packages geared toward large infrastructure, research, and development projects. Texas municipalities often collaborate with the state government to offer customized incentives that may include tax reductions and the creation of economic development zones, where companies receive additional benefits for contributing to local growth. These fiscal incentives have been crucial in attracting multinational companies and large-scale projects. The combination of low taxation and aggressive tax incentive programs has established Texas as one of the most sought-after destinations for long-term investments, especially for industries looking to minimize costs while maximizing growth potential. Texas isn't only notable for its economic growth, it's also experiencing one of the largest population booms in the United States. Historically, the state has been the second largest in both population and economy, trailing only California. However, this gap is closing rapidly. Between 2000 and 2020, Texas added an impressive 8.25 million new residents to its population, a much faster growth rate than California, which added 5.6 million people over the same period. This population increase has been driven by a mix of factors: company migration, workers seeking better living conditions and job opportunities, as well as a birth rate higher than the national average. The growing population not only strengthens the base of skilled workers but also boosts sectors like housing, infrastructure, and services. This rapid growth trend is quickly closing the population gap between the nation's two largest states. By 2023, the difference between Texas and California had shrunk to less than 8 million people, a much smaller gap than in previous decades. If the current pace continues, experts project that Texas could surpass California in population by 2040, which would significantly shift the demographic and economic balance of power within the United States. While California faces challenges such as high living costs, a housing crisis, and corporate outflows, Texas offers more accessible and attractive alternatives for both businesses and residents. This rapid growth is transforming Texas from a state traditionally focused on oil and gas into a dynamic, diversified economic center. One of Texas's greatest assets in its rapid growth is the vast amount of land available for development. While states like California face geographic limitations and sky-high real estate prices, Texas presents a stark contrast: large areas of still undeveloped land and significantly lower construction costs. This availability allows the state to keep expanding quickly, both in infrastructure and in residential and commercial areas. This abundance of land enables less dense and more affordable urbanization, attracting companies and residents seeking a more flexible environment for growth. Texas cities are expanding beyond their traditional centers, with new suburban areas emerging each year. This growth not only supports new housing construction but also creates ideal conditions for large industrial and technological projects. Lower construction costs, compared to many other states, play a key role in this process. Companies establishing headquarters or operational centers in Texas benefit from substantial savings, which also incentivizes the development of high-quality infrastructure. Accessible land outside major metropolitan areas reduces pressure on land prices, enabling new projects to launch without the exorbitant costs seen in places like California or New York. The state also benefits from a more flexible real estate market and less restrictive zoning regulations than other states. Whereas construction approvals in areas like San Francisco are notoriously slow and expensive, Texas offers a faster and less bureaucratic environment. This streamlined process supports both residential and industrial projects, enabling companies to establish new headquarters or factories within a shorter time frame. Another crucial factor is the relatively low cost of construction materials and labor in Texas. Although rising demand may gradually increase these costs, Texas continues to hold a substantial advantage over states where land scarcity and stricter environmental regulations drive prices up drastically. As a result, average construction costs for housing and infrastructure in Texas are significantly lower, allowing companies to invest in large projects at a fraction of the cost of other major U.S. markets. For companies relocating to Texas, this scenario presents a double advantage. In addition to paying less to acquire land and build facilities, they also save on infrastructure maintenance and future expansions. This creates a cycle of sustainable growth, where businesses can continue expanding without the burden of inflated costs. This combination of abundant land and reduced construction costs has been crucial in driving the explosive growth of Texas's major metropolitan areas, which now rank among the most dynamic in the United States. The Dallas-Fort Worth region, known as DFW, exemplifies this expansion impressively. Since 2010, over 1.2 million people have moved to the area, solidifying its position as the fourth largest metropolitan region in the U.S. DFW is not only a population hub but has also become one of the nation's largest transportation and logistics centers, hosting one of the world's busiest airports and serving as a vital international trade connection. Additionally, sectors like finance, technology, and real estate are booming, making the region one of Texas's most diversified economic engines. However, growth isn't limited to DFW. The Texas Triangle, which includes Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, is the true heart of Texas development. This urban triangle occupies less than 25% of the state's area but contains about 75% of Texas's population, an urban concentration that rivals the world's leading metropolitan regions. Austin, for instance, has emerged as a major tech hub, earning the nickname, the Silicon Valley of Texas, due to the migration of companies like Tesla and Oracle, which saw the city as an opportunity to reduce operational costs and tap into a highly skilled workforce. Meanwhile, Houston remains one of the world's leading energy centers, attracting industry giants like Chevron. Chevron, one of the largest multinational energy companies, engages in a wide range of oil and gas exploration and production operations, both in Texas and globally. This includes conventional and unconventional exploration, particularly in shale formations. For those unfamiliar, conventional exploration refers to extracting oil and gas from traditional reservoirs, where hydrocarbons are found in geological formations with high permeability and porosity. Chevron operates globally, employing advanced drilling technologies to maximize resource recovery. However, Chevron has significantly expanded its presence in unconventional exploration, particularly in the Permian Basin, spanning Texas and New Mexico. This region is rich in shale formations, requiring specialized techniques like hydraulic fracturing, known as fracking, and horizontal drilling to extract trapped oil and gas. Chevron aims to reach net production of 1 million barrels of oil per day in this region by 2025, underscoring Texas's central role in global energy production. Houston continues as a global energy hub, but its economy has diversified, advancing in sectors like healthcare, biotechnology, and aerospace. San Antonio, traditionally associated with the military and defense sectors, is undergoing significant urban modernization with investments in infrastructure and technology. Together, these cities create an unprecedented axis of innovation and growth in the U.S. This growing economic force, combined with robust population growth projections, positions the Texas Triangle as a region that could soon rival California directly in terms of population and gross domestic product, GDP. If current trends persist, Texas could see its national and global influence increase significantly in the coming decades. The explosive growth of Texas's metropolitan areas, driven by its abundance of land, tax incentives, and a business-friendly environment, starkly contrasts with what is happening in other states, particularly California. For the first time in its history, California has begun facing a significant population decline, largely due to controversial policies. Between 2020 and 2022, the state lost around 500,000 residents, reflecting an exodus of companies, workers, and families seeking better opportunities, more affordable living costs, and fewer regulations. Meanwhile, Texas, already established as a top destination for those seeking these advantages, gained an impressive 884,000 new residents in the same period. This demographic shift has had considerable political repercussions. Following the 2020 census, California lost a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives, something that had never happened before. Conversely, Texas gained 2 seats, expanding its political influence in Congress and solidifying its position as one of the most relevant states on the national political stage. This power shift between California and Texas points to a broader transformation in the U.S. political landscape. California's population decline may indicate that the state's governance policies, characterized by heavier regulation and high costs, are driving away a significant portion of its population. Texas isn't just a booming economic engine, its transportation system is the key component that keeps everything moving, placing it at the forefront of global logistics. Let's start with Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, DFW, which isn't just large, it's the second busiest airport in the world. This alone shows how Texas has become a major player in global transportation. Whether for those needing quick travel between the U.S. East and West Coasts or connections with Latin America, DFW is an ideal starting point. It's not just an airport, it's a true hub that links Texas to the rest of the world. In terms of freight transport, Texas also leads the way. Fort Worth Alliance Airport is one of the largest logistics hubs in the country, operating as a mega hub for giants like FedEx and Amazon Air. If you're unfamiliar with Amazon Air, it's Amazon's air transport division, created to speed up merchandise delivery and improve the company's logistics. It operates as a dedicated network of cargo planes that transport packages between Amazon's main distribution centers in the US and other countries, ensuring faster deliveries, especially in areas where ground transport would be slower. These freight companies move tons of goods daily, ensuring that products arrive quickly and efficiently, whether within the US or internationally. Texas has become a top-tier logistics corridor, leveraging not only its airports but also an extensive network of highways and railways spanning the state from end to end. What's even more interesting is that the state has access to strategic seaports, making it a central hub for the global distribution of goods. With so much infrastructure at its disposal, Texas has not only become a paradise for large corporations but also opened the door for small and medium-sized businesses to connect with new markets. The secret behind this? Low costs and high efficiency. This combination makes Texas a magnet for businesses of all sizes, helping both tech giants and new entrepreneurs thrive. However, rapid growth also puts pressure on infrastructure. More people, more businesses, more traffic. But the state is aware of this and is already investing heavily in expanding and modernizing its transportation networks. The idea is simple: if Texas wants to continue growing at this pace, it needs more modern highways, larger airports, and logistics capable of handling this population and economic boom. The good news is that Texas is already preparing for this. Both the state government and local municipalities are focused on increasing the capacity of transportation systems to ensure sustainable growth. Ultimately, all of this places Texas in a unique position. With an accelerating economy, more political power, and infrastructure that connects the state to the world, Texas is more prepared than ever to be one of the world's leading centers of power. The big question that remains is, how far can Texas go? And if you enjoyed this mini documentary, don't miss the next one, right here on the screen. Just click now to watch it. See you there.